Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Today we've got a interesting one, one that is technically more difficult by me having loaded the game slightly before I started the stream. Because if I come out to our space station, you will notice that everything wants to kind of explode a little. Now, one of our biggest issues here is we are trying to get this module right here attached to this station. And as you might guess, it really does not want to behave. Now, I can undock that. Say, hey, we want us to do a specific thing. The problem we have, I set that as a target, control from here, target face the target. And need to go into docking mode to be able to do anything. One of the major things we have to look at is going to be our fuel conservation and our power, because as you can see, we are pretty critical on power. To slow down our relative velocity, because as you can see, the whole thing kind of just wants to have a bad day. Like, I actually cannot control this, so might have to reload the save simply by virtue of, yeah, lack of control. Also highly irritating, because it means that I have to come here. We're gonna go, we want this to face nominal. Also want to turn off the RCS for it. Fortunately, that's not gonna be a thing. Play with. Set to kill rotation. Then need to switch over to this. Hey, face us nominal. Very careful, please, because whole thing very much likes to shake, rattle, and roll. Okay, switch over to this. We're gonna want to undock, switch out. Sure. Now, for now, we want to say set that as target. Control from here. Nominal minus. It is. Unfortunately, these linking connectors are going to be the bane of me. I just realized I have to restart because I cannot connect this as a separate unit the way I would like. I have to actually dock it, connect it, and then undock it and readjust it. Nice and carefully. Time warp to lock it together. Time warp again to lock it a little better. Boom. Okay. Now, that as the target. Nominal. Anti-nominal, because you have the thrust and firepower to do it. Good. Now we want nominal plus, dock. Where you going, buddy? Rotation nominal. So the part that has the little om-nom, greenery is the biological lab unit. Basically, it's this greenhouse. Okay. Come on, you can do it. Okay, we want to Roll from here. No, 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 no. You're already facing the right way. Leave it alone. No. Vision. Nominal. No. Nominal. So. Part. Aim the camera at that part. Oh yeah, well, the best and worst part is these couplings hate each other. Like, there is nothing I can do that will make them want to connect. Like, even though they have the ability to have 200% locking capabilities, they will not. Careful. With force and gusto. And of course, that force and gusto did not work. Oh yeah, no, I overloaded this stuff with monopropellant. And that was before I realized that these are broken. Control from here, aim camera, time warp to lock position. Come on, come on. Come on. And of course you don't want to behave. That is actually because of the way I have the solar panels set up. They generate so much random physics. So normally, by getting this close, it would have already connected on its own. But, as you can see, so these specific ones are the MOS DM docking mechanism. I absolutely cannot unrecommended, I guess the term would be. Any more than alright. Now again, this is a lot more difficult than it needs to be, simply by virtue of I'm connecting to this part, and for some reason that has decided that it's just gonna do random actions. Okay. Unfortunately, I've got to switch to this, and I've got to tell you, stop moving. Open editor. Open editor. This is the one that's going to cause massive bad things to happen. Okay. Open editor. That was supposed to cause massive bad things to happen. Yeah. I thought I did, but apparently they're auto-struck to random things. Also, why is this enable? Play it in reverse, everything close up. Behave. This is definitely getting replaced. Since a lot of these modules are just not behaving the way I want them to, a lot of them are going to get replaced. So like, oh, there we go. Auto strut, root, heaviest, heaviest, heaviest. Root. Now, why are these? Paused, because this is not supposed to be paused. Goody, everything is broken. It's out of power. How are you out of power? I know your panels are facing the right way. What is consuming power? Science. Processing lab. Guess what? I can turn you off remotely by just transferring the crew out. Haha! That explains why the whole thing shut down. You have enough power. Of course not. That would be too easy. Okay. Well, come here. Increase that. Sir, I told you to increase your docking force to 200. Whatever. Remember, aim camera, control from here. Set that as our target. Hmm. Switch this, turn off all that. Aim, control. And of course the space station is now immediately going out of control. Worst part is this was supposed to be like a quick little thing. And now I feel like I've got to do it over and over just to get it to behave. And again, the whole headache with this is solely to do with the fact that these cause the whole thing to sway and wiggle and misbehave. You have to do anti-radical. Because if you radical, you will just run out of power instantaneously. And then you will blame me. The other thing is, I still haven't figured out how to re-up the science in here, because this uses research kits, and I have not found a single way to produce them. Kill rotation, because don't need rotation. Kill rotation on off, kill rotation on off. Boom. You are fine at this point. Stay still. And now we're going to do this magical thing called aim, control from here, set target, orbit. Docking controls. Cool. Okay, and then we're gonna go this way until we are basically told we are gonna line up with this. Come on. And of course, that has decided that it is wiggle wobbling and it will fall down. Why are you having such a hard time with this? Actually, up pretty well. Then the panel will help a lot, but it will give a little extra power to this, and really wish I could just say, hey, ignore physics on this object, or ignore advanced physics on this object. Oh, for it, time warp. That way. Down. In the camera, so that's easier to line up. Come on, nice and slowly. Right, radical. Rotation, radical return. Skill rotation. Feel like the answer is no. Move, move, move. Up. Station. Back. I do apologize. I know this is probably one of the most boring parts of this. Of course. Up, 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 up. Okay. Target. Aim for the target. So here's the thing. As long as you don't use these connectors, you won't go through this headache. Like, it is honestly just these connectors that do this, and partially like how I built the parts. Because again, I had to do something special, which ended up biting me in the rear. Like, I've used so much monopropellant when I probably, like in normal KSP, would have gotten away with maybe having to use 1/10 of it at that. Because what happens with normal docking components, you are able to get close and the seal on them would automatically... Why are you freaking out? No reason to be freaking out. And that's just it. Like, me making this without fully paying attention to, like, how things are being handled. Because, like you said, structural bits, are they structuring in the way they're supposed to? Honestly, I don't know anymore. I thought the answer was yes, but now I'm not so sure. Like, at this point, I've spent far too much time doing this. Like, this was supposed to be a 5-minute little, dock it and call it a day. But now, I'm sitting here running a rotation kill every few seconds. And unfortunately, none of it has to do with KSP. It all has to do with the particular mods I'm using. With them just being very, very much bullies. Like, in normal KSP, getting roughly this close would pretty much almost have docking start initiating on its own. Oh, by the way. Come on. Down. At this point, I'm just gonna station is doing its best to drift off course. Of course it is. Solar rotation. Go there. Get it realigned. I also have my directional keys not matching with what I'm visually seeing, which, believe it or not, makes a big difference. Normally, you would intentionally get them to match, and it'll make life so much easier. Control from here. As you see, some stuff is actually less stable. If I hit control from here and then tell it, hey, face at that one thing, it has quite a bit more stability than at that connector point. And believe it or not, the only reason I'm going through all this is because I have people that I need to swap over. And I'm kind of feeling like saying, you know what? Let me check my inventory. Do you guys have jetpacks? If you do, we're just telling you all to jump out and push. Great. Guess what, buddy? EVA, your inventory, you do not have a jetpack, so you're getting back on board. Of course, my scientists do not have jetpacks. Wait, you do have a jetpack. Let go. And at this point, we are going to do something relatively foolish, but kind of needs to be done. Is we're gonna manually do our transfers. Cannot board a full module. That is fine. Because fuel and that ladder just for safety's sake. Grab on and board. This scientist, EVA, let go, RC. So these ones do not have that special feature yet. Those would be some higher tier ones. So these do not automatically do it, but I can manually adjust them. Do not smash into this. Not smash into it. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there should be one Kerbal in there, one Kerbal in there, two Kerbals in here, and then we need to go transfer crew. Further there. Transfer crew. Transfer there. Yep, research stopped. That's fine. You can grab on and reboard. We need you to face the target. The target. Right now you've gotten too far away. And what's going to end up happening is I am going to decommission this whole module. But okay, RCS, turn off. You. Command. Control from here. Point away. A little closer, and then we want good enough. Now, everybody, kill your rotation. Okay, we have everybody out of there. For the farmer and the medic. So, come here. Buddy, stop flexing. Just do nothing. Okay, Lindsay, you and EVA. Now, the burn-up module. Now, rule 1, make sure that you get back inside of it before we burn it up. Where is the doorway? But there is a doorway. Come on. Grab on. Board. Great. Let me guess. Transfer from here to there. I need to remember is to come to one of these screens. It has health related stuff. Apparently, Lindsay is going to die. Goody. Honestly, kind of feels like one of those EVAs unavailable. Yes, I am well aware. Since EVA is unavailable, we're gonna EVA the guy, and we're gonna hope that I can get everybody on board the emergency deorbiting system, and we will unfortunately have to drop this out of orbit because it is not behaving. A non-behaving space station is basically a dead space station. So let's see. Transfer. Transfer. You send them there. Transfer. Transfer. Oh goody, I have more people currently in orbit than I can safely take out of orbit. Alright. Guess that space plane is going to be getting a lot more use than I thought. Transfer. Transfer. You go up there. Everybody get into the command module because you going home, and you are going home in a very angry style. We're going to decommission this whole set. Our periaps will drop to a predetermined crash. Not mistaken. We are over Space Center right now, so we are going to push our way. I think it's... Oh. I think it's radical. We want to make sure that we hit atmosphere and quickly. And what we're going to do, now that there are no people on board, we are going to undock and burn. We have deconnected the module right here. This is going to probably burn for a while because I've messed up. But thankfully, we will basically just keep circling until it runs out of fuel. Because, again, messed up. This is gonna go so bad for them. Come on, run out of fuel eventually. There we go. Oh, there it goes. Wow, that moves quick when it needs to. That could be a problem. Unfortunately, it is not a problem I can solve. Because hopefully the heat shield will just automatically... Yes! Because it's heavier. I'm just waiting for it to yell at me that I blew up like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Farm module should drop out. You guys should be fine, even though it's a scientist and a medic. Hopefully neither skills are going to be needed for this. And then we are going to send up a rescue slash decommissioning system, and we are going to decommission the entire space station. Which is unfortunate. Like, we did get our science out of it, which is nice, but it is going to be one of those things of we're going to have to build a new one using better docking parts and a whole lot better solar panel arrangements. But again, that was my fault. I intentionally tried to make something pretty, not realizing that the physics of KSP do not allow it. Sitting there, I'm like, how are we moving at 0? That's because our target is apparently stationary. No idea what target it has us hooked to. There we go. That is interesting that we're still technically orbiting at such high speed. Alright guys, let's get you down. Stage destroyed. The farm... That's... Yeah, I would say it was destroyed. That was just the little rocket pit. That's not the actual farm. Is that the farm? That is the farm. Yeah, almost 90,000 gone. Thankfully, we are a multi-millionaire. So we are going to be doing something... Ah, good night. Unfortunately, you're going to miss me launching the space plane to go get them out of the station. But good night, man. Hopefully you'll see the VOD on it and get caught up with either the amazingness that will be the space plane or the terribleness that will be it burning up in the atmosphere. building, or not really building the space plane, but we are launching it. Open this up. And we are going to where is it? Is it payload? The structural. Nope. Oh, utility. Yeah, pretty sure utilities where the crew cabin is. Hmm. Putting parts inside of parts. Because, you know, that won't go terribly wrong. Okay, for now, we're just gonna do that. We're also gonna come here. We're going to go strut to here. Because we want the whole thing not only behave, but exist. We do it. Mark 1. Mark 1 rescue. And we're gonna save this. Switch the editor. Tell our wheels to retract. There. Our couplings. Grab this guy. Oop. Like that. Do our sub-assembly. Grab our heavy lift, because if anything's going to be listed as heavy lift, it'll be that. Then we want to come here. This one that has the RNG? Oh, that has RNG attached to it. Take that, connect there. Boom. Okay. Okay. this is going to either go perfectly fine, which I doubt, or it is going to go so off the walls that I'm not going to have any clue what to do with it. Okay. Now, we do have to come here and fix the struts because they separate at a weird timing. Boom. Okay, highly expensive. We're going for it. I figured this would happen, that's why the stream is called Let It Fly. Yeah, I didn't think I had enough time to build a custom rocket, rocket for it. And given my recent luck with how some of this has behaved, I figured I would rather recover parts of this than recover none of it. I also realized I forgot to add something. I revert to assembly. Now, I think it's in there, but I have to make sure. So, tucked inside this rocket is a bunch of, or not inside the rocket itself, but inside here. Okay, so there is a module in there. Inside are a bunch of crew modules, because this is going to be basically taking everyone off my space station before I force it out of orbit, because unfortunately the physics are not cooperating with the parts that I have put up there, and the joints I'm using to connect just are refusing to behave, which is causing quite a bit of problems. So I'm gonna go here. Apparently it is already fueled, so I'm paying for fuel. That's a shame, but there's not really a lot I can do about that. Let's select our new target, which is going to be the KISS station. As target, launch to rendezvous, auto engage. Oof, this is gonna go... It's gonna be something. Let me just save real quick. Five, four, three, two, one. This is either going to go great and look amazing, or it is going to burn up very quickly. And that's just because this rocket setup is designed for some very heavy cargo, and this shuttle is not very heavy. Yeah, I get the feeling I'm going to be getting some very dangerous Mach effects with this rocket setup. So, R, do you play KSP yourself? Yes. Sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, so the only thing I can think of was to refer to you as your highlighted letter. Or do you prefer 92? Because I know there are a few people I've played games with who would prefer to have their number called rather than a butchering of their username. Well, ain't that pretty. Well, and beyond all that, are you a KSP player as well? Well, welcome, welcome. I stream KSP every Monday and Wednesday, so if you want to just come here and laugh at the insanity, feel free to. I do try to do some intelligent things, but as you can tell by the silliness that is, you know, using an 8K Delta V rocket for a shuttle intercept, it's not always intelligent. So are you a modded KSP player or a vanilla KSP? No shade or judgment either way. Um, Honestly, I enjoy the game in both flavors. Awesome. Are you more of a career, a science, or a sandbox player? Honestly, I'm getting back into it myself. I haven't played in a few years. Yeah, that seems to be my MO, overcomplicating things. This has enough fuel to probably go out to basically everything. The problem is, I only have the moon unlocked. I still have to figure out how to, well, not figure out, but I still have to do the research to get Duna unlocked. Okay. Now all we gotta do is get this big guy close to the space station. It is, thankfully. Why don't kick me off the target? Head of maneuver. Actually, Jack. Move this. What is it? Planner. Fine tooth. Closest approach. Create a node that does that. What on earth did you decide to do? Light speed. That's what you decided to do. Sorry, but I think I can do a little better myself. Oh, look. Already doing better. Me? Zero out. That 0.2 kilometers. Micro adjustments. 0.5. 2. Honestly, that is more than enough. Skip to next node. Because I've said it, and not whatever that is. Thankfully, I put enough SAS on the primary rocket housing to do most of the maneuvering for me, because, you know, if I've got this much delta V, I might as well use it. Although I definitely should come to the thrust limiter and bring that down to 10. Which is still way more than I need in terms of power. Oh, 1. Because even though I haven't optimized this engine for space, it puts out quite a bit, and then it also has a an overflow state it does. So when the engine is shutting down, it will actually take a few seconds for thrust to kick out, even when you hit 0 on the thrust gauge. Relative velocity, closest approach. Need to deal with now. Go. Target. Kill the. And we're gonna warp to there. Could be. Have to get us close to the station. At least close enough for everyone to jump aboard and jump over. Where is Kiss? There it is. Honestly, this setup worked out better than I thought, because normally I'm having to fight with this giant rocket the whole time, but at least for now, get it to behave, deorbit it, and ditch it, switch over to the plane, all in one go. Closest approach is coming up. Didn't, but I guess I will. Thrust limit to 10. Should allow us to safely get all. Okay, aim at the target, nice and gently. Relative velocity killing to happen immediately. Get turned around. Thankfully, I've got like a minute before it does it. Carefully get us set up to safely rendezvous, because I gotta get these people off this dying station quite quickly, because it's doing stuff like that. But yeah, as you can see, I unintentionally built my entire space station out of gelatin. So I have to do a bit of an abandoned ship, unfortunately. Otherwise, I will definitely lose the Kerbins at some point or another, and I'm trying to avoid that to the best of my capabilities, we'll say. Let's start EVAing everyone. Come on. Go up to the big rocket and try and climb aboard. Oof. Sir, that is a level of dedication I have not yet figured out. As much as I really, really would want to, I have not gotten helicopters to behave in any sense. I want to do one transfer. That. Well, if I ever get any time, given my unfortunate propensity to work myself to death, I will absolutely take a look at it. There. Right now, I just want you to kill rotation because I still have 2 more people to EVA out to you. Okay, where are they? Ooh. Ooh. Are they in the escape pod? Okay, they're in the escape pod. Oh, thank you for that. Will definitely be sure. Should have enough monopropellant to gently deorbit. And of course, because I have this set up in such a poor manner and I don't have a shunting vehicle on here, I'm literally deorbiting it with monopropellant. Because of course I am. Solar unfold. No idea if that's gonna work. I doubt it. But okay, focus solely on deorbiting. So tell you. Come on. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a sad day that I have to deorbit an entire station because I did not realize these docking modules just do not behave. You can have like a near perfect assignment and alignment, and you have to hit them with so much force. Time to apps is quite a while. Time per apps is quite as inefficient as this is. In theory, I should be able to still deorbit it with this because this guy doesn't actually need the monopropellant. Rotation. Focus on deorbiting efforts. I do. I believe it is buried inside this mod pack, but I do believe it is one of the ones that was recommended highly in order to get most of the mods I'm working with working. Deploy all except EVA and transmit it. I really do need to figure out how to get the research kit up to the processing lab, because as far as I can tell, you have to put an entire research center up to do it, and that's not convenient or useful. Okay. That ain't perfect, but rotation. Come on. I'm actually surprised I managed to get 50 kilometers out of that much monopropellant. Granted, I know I have enough to deorbit this. That was kind of the point of having that monopropellant. Although this was supposed to have a secondary shunter that I took off to try to do a docking that just I could not get. Which is a shame, because that would have A, been able to deorbit this quite a bit quicker, but B, would have really, really been nice had any of this behaved. But I have learned that the servos and the hinges just, they are not friendly, unfortunately. And I know that I need to set up, like, special auto strutting, but I'm gonna have to look up more about auto struts, since I obviously am not using them correctly. Okay. Go. Yeah, that's what I've learned. But the other problem was I wasn't using any auto struts, and the whole thing was jelly. Okay, grandparent, I will definitely take that and look into using that next time I have to make something this wobbly. Honestly, this was just me trying to show off that I figured out how to do the sequencing, and I was really happy, and it, like, the worst part is I knew better. Because I've made this in the this type of thing in the past as an assembly, and while it wasn't as wobbly, it was pretty bad. Although I do think if I'm ever going to do this in the future, I'm going to look at having a Kerbal engineer bring struts out and manually strut stuff together. Robotic works along the bridge over the robotic bridge. Hold on. So you're saying, like, if I were to strut from here to there, that would work for this, right? As long as I skip these two parts and go from here to here, it would work. And then go from, like, here to here. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So, route the strut to the parent part of the robotic part. Okay, so basically avoid routing to the actual part itself, so this would be that, and then this would be The root part. Like that? Okay, thank you. I do believe I'm unfortunately not going to be using the servos and stuff, because as pretty as they are, unless I'm building like my moon base or somewhere where it's going to be stationary, I think anything that's going to be in orbit is going to be kind of getting out of it. All right. Now we want to... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There is... Come on. Undock. And now the station is going down. Want to make sure that we... Honestly, I'm deorbiting an entire station at this point, so... Like, I think I've reached the unfortunate point of no return when it comes to building some stuff. Wait, things occur more often on the surface because parts reset and collide with the ground. Yes, I am aware of that. I'm just waiting to, like, of course I get unlucky and have the dark side of the planet be doing this, because, you know, that's not going to be terrifying in its own right. Hopefully that all breaks up away from this pod. Save. Falls gently. Stage recovered. Oh, the parts of the shuttle. Those were always going to get recovered. Difficult part is this escape module I built and the shuttle itself. I'll turn off docking mode because it's not really needed. Just to force my way down deeper. For a grade burn it is. over in a moment. Out. Check our location. Theoretically, we should be coming down in a safe area. The KISS station is coming down hard, and it's coming down fast. Surprised I can't see it burning up from here, but hey. Tilt rotation. And that should be enough to get us slowed down. Unfortunately, we are going to end up further away from the thing that I wanted. Stage destroyed. Whew. That's a shame. But it does fall under my philosophy of do not leave junk in space. Wait, where was that? Okay. Oh, cool. I was looking at the wrong thing. So I am actually going to land not perfectly at the KSC, but do this. Go to kill rotation. Oop. See if we can raise ourselves up just a little bit. Oh! Oh, forgot that the time warp was up. Yeah, that would definitely hurt. Surface point up. Hold on. Go from here. There we go. Funny part is, this is not even the exciting bit. This is the part that I kind of knew was going to behave coming down. I have no idea if my shuttle is going to make it back safely. Because this is the first official launch of the shuttle, and it was for a rescue mission. Honestly, I'm not even going to adjust in the heat shield, because one, it can absorb the impact if I need to, but two, it is valuable. I try, when I know I'm going to put people on a space station, to build an emergency escape vehicle. And I never expected to have more than 2 people on the station at any given point in time. But then I tried to get smart with the way I was building my my one bio lab that I was adding, which was already breaking my first rule of no more than 2 people on the station at any given point in time. But it also ended up meaning that once I realized I had to not only abort mission, but scuttle the station, I didn't have enough crew compartments in the escape pods, which irks me to no end, because I try to pride myself on not doing that to my Kerbins. Thankfully, I've got enough money to handle it for now. We want to go to our shuttle rescue. The funny thing is, because I have this massive rocket on it, theoretically, I could actually land and do a powered landing with this rocket, because I've done it before. We do want to face retrograde. We do want to close that. We do want to warp there. Okay, let the rocket get retrograde, and then we will tell the engine to spool up for kick out. Nope, not what I wanted. Alt? Yeah, Alt. Okay, that definitely overshot it, but station setup. Ability to code prograde. And should be able to slow our descent quite effectively. Here are deployed, so I get the credit for it. You, sir, are not going to run out of power by the time I land, so you're fine. Give me on that. Be fine, so let's... You want the inclined orbit. braking system does look like it's behaving, so just need to make sure we don't burn up. Yeah, that does not like the idea of coming down gently, so might have to swing back around. That's fine. Oh. We were too close to that, so tell you to face prograde. Page recovered. That is funny. Ooh. Okay, definitely need to be more careful with that. Would I blow off? There we go. Kill it. Okay, we are gonna have a zero out. All this. Out that. And when I hit brakes, only the ones that have matching pairs are counted. Okay, let's see if we can bring this big guy in for a landing. We are unfortunately going to go over time budget, but hey. Be able to justify it. Come on, come on. Let's see if I can get it to behave. Come on. Might be getting a wet landing. Simply because I unfortunately tried to do too aggressive of a re-entry on it. And at my current angle, I will not be making it to the airfield, so let's switch over to our... Huh. Our flight recorder. Check our altitude and our surface speed. Like Gillis. 30 seconds left, might as well burn it to earn it. Yeah, we're definitely not making it, so we're probably going to be doing a splashdown. Fortunately, I did not set up the chutes for on this one, so this is going to be a very aggressive landing. And go in and do a bit of a pull-up to try and kill surface speed. Slow, or we will stall, and then everything will become pain. Way too high, way too fast, way too high. I don't think they're gonna make it. Oh. Okay, that is far better constructed than I gave it credit for. Woohoo! Alright, everyone. That is unfortunately our wrapping up point. Next time, we will be looking at what else we can do potentially with that space plane, or our shuttle, as it were. A bunch of these people ended up getting promotions and all kinds of stuff, and honestly, the biggest promotion is, hey, you're all not dead. So, I will see you guys next time. Our next airing will be on Wednesday the 13th, at least by Eastern Standard Time. Alright, everyone. Have a good night, and take it easy.